Na mtazamaji, sasa tuvuke kwenye taarifa hii ambapo kamati ya bunge kuhusu utawala na usalama wa taifa inafanya kikao na wadau wa usalama kuhusiana na mswada unaonuia kufanyia mabadiliko sheria ya usajili wa watu humu nchini. Mswada huo umependekezwa na mbunge Carol Omondi, na sasa tuvuke mubashara kwenye kikao hicho tusikilize yanayojiri.
Article 12(1)(b) of the Constitution of Kenya, which reads, every citizen is entitled to a Kenyan passport and any document of registration or identification issued by the state to citizens. That is actually the constitutional basis of this proposal. An ID card is not just a document for identification or proof of citizenship or for voting, but it is the key to job opportunities, to means of livelihood, to participation in so many, actually almost everything in society. So it is a very, very important document. And that is why we think we should now have a proper legal framework for issuance of IDs to young Kenyans. The reason why we want to do it in schools is because it is within schools that majority of the young people are present at any one point in time. It is where those who, whether they are from disadvantaged communities or urban areas or pastoralist areas, it is within the framework of schools that we are able to find them. Actually, the analysis by the team here says we have about 3 million students in our schools annually who actually are qualified to get identity cards. And the school setup is the most effective center for this. And actually it will even save the government and members of the public money when the registration is done in school centers. And this is something that is being done in South Africa, in India, in Rwanda, and in other places. We have now a self-registration system where the law requires that when you turn 18, within 90 days you must present yourself for registration. It is a requirement of the law as a matter of security. That is why you are given 90 days within which to register. What we are now saying is that if you are 18 by August of the year you are supposed to leave school, or you will be 18 by December of that year, meaning you are 17 plus 8 months, because there's only 4 months between August and December. Then if you're already 18, you will present your biometrics and get your identity card while in school. If you are 4 months to become 18, you will present your biometrics and get your ID when you turn 18. In other words, it will not be released to you until the time you turn 18. The reason is we want to save cost. So when the registration is being done, you don't only deal with those who are already 18, but those who will also be 18 in 4 months' time, so that there are costs that are managed. Now, the issue that you cannot capture, the live capture of data and live transmission to the production center is just a technical problem. I believe that can be solved technically by the machines. That cannot be a barrier to what we are proposing. That's a technical problem. That can be, the machines can be reconfigured to deal with that particular problem. I agree with the issue of parental consent if people are underage. But remember, when students are in school, and with is it called EMIS? What is it? The student registration. Their NEMIS. The information around them has already been captured, and it is within schools. So in the problem that we have had over vetting over the years in pastoralist areas will no longer be there, because there is already a record from the primary school you came from, secondary school you went to. Everything is already there in that school where you are. And the record quickly can be checked and verified. So most of the issues that they have raised, like the school calendar issue, these are legitimate questions, but they are administrative issues. In fact, they should come under regulations. They should come under regulations, either at the education laws or under the registration of persons bill. All these issues are matters of regulations. But I want to deal with one where they're saying they are doing it administratively So we cannot legislate. Number one, when we legislate, we create budgetary certainty of the process. Without that legislation, there can be no budgetary certainty. Number two, the reason why we must legislate is to make it uniform, so that it is not done in some areas and not in all areas. So that is the reason why we have to legislate. The fact that we are doing it administratively it sounds like a private arrangement. There are those who will get it, others will not get it to their disadvantage. So it has to be uniform across all schools. And the registration is not that the registrars will go to schools. Under regulations and administratively, you will have to come up with a program and say you can register people for 3 days in a constituency headquarters. So the schools will bring the students. That's why we buy them school buses. Yeah, they can come to a central point. You can go there with your machines, 290 centers in August, and they will come to that point. These are now administrative issues. And everybody will surrender their biometrics, fill in the forms, and go back to school. And it will be a day's event. You can organize those. Those are now the things that we want to see administratively. Honorable Chair, I would be very reluctant to make this amendment contingent on the other amendments the government is proposing. I think this should go on its own. When they catch up with us, that will be fine. We will find this already in the law. I don't think we should wait. Yeah, I think we should go. Actually, we will also be solving, we are dealing with constitutional principles of fairness and equity under Article 10 of our Constitution, so that nobody is discriminated against on issues of ID, nobody is treated unfairly, there will be no complaints, because everybody will have equal opportunity if you're in school. And the few that will not be able to, for one reason or the other, get their IDs in school, those are the ones now that we will deal with. As a security measure, I think it is in the interest of the government to have everybody registered while in school. Yeah. So I don't want to talk on all the other issues, but I agree with them. I agree with your presentation on the logistics, their presentation on the logistics, but those are issues of regulations and administrative procedures that can be dealt with. The law should just give us the broad framework, which I think it already provides, that in the month of August, there'll be registration, IDs can be collected from school or at another point, which you will decide. And then we leave it like that. The rest now, we can fit in later. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Wakili. Liz?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. And I want
na mtazamaji, tutakuwa tunaifuatilia